Do you need steroids to compete in wellness? Fuck no. And here's why. Wellness is probably one of the most sought after divisions women want to compete in. You know, we talk about bikini a lot, we talk about figure and other divisions, but wellness being one of the newest and also one of the kind of categories they opened up to bring, you know, almost an audience of competitors that were never there. This is a big division. And honestly, over the next few years, we'll probably see wellness overtake bikini and everything else as far as the most popular division. Hey, it might even already be there. But a lot of women, you know, that maybe get attracted to the look of wellness or the idea of competing in it or want to get on stage are not willing to go and take performance enhancing drugs or steroids, and you know, they just won't compete because of that, or they think that you absolutely have to, and so they won't compete because of that. Truth is, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's watching this right now, coaches, wannabe athletes, anybody, if you're already competing in wellness, maybe you've already, you know, your coach already tried to make you take steroids or whatever, I'm telling you straight up, honestly, the truth, you do not need steroids to compete in wellness. And feel free to, you know, say whatever you want about me and my opinion on this, but the truth is, on Team Flex, you know, we have a large competition team of wellness athletes that are very successful. Literally every single weekend, I can't even talk, weekend, we got athletes stepping on stage that are winning their class, winning overalls, or, you know, even pro cards in wellness. Okay, I train wellness pros and they're all natural, and this is something that you can do and you really should consider doing, because if you go down the path of, you know, getting on steroids, you go down the path of listening to your coach blindly, you go down the path of, you know, performance enhancing drugs and everything else, you're going down a path of a lot of effects and side effects that you probably don't know anything about and definitely wouldn't want. Let's talk about a few of them. So, you know, when you start taking steroids as a woman, you're taking, you know, largely compounds of testosterone for the most part. Okay, these compounds go into your body and they produce extra amounts of male hormone. That's really what it does. And what that does for you is obviously, yeah, it gets you a little bit leaner, gives you a little bit more muscle to your physique, but there's also a myriad of effects you definitely wouldn't want if you knew them, such as facial hair growth. Ladies, you want to get a mustache? You want a beard? You can get one if you take steroids. 2, deepening of your voice. If you want to be an opera singer, line up to get on gear. 3, masculine features overall. You want a chiseled jawline that you could cut glass with? Take some steroids then. 4, masculine physiological changes, such as menstruation changes and or reducing of breast tissue. And honestly, I could go way deeper into the hormone and the mental issues and all the other things that come with steroid use. And these types of things affect you for the rest of your life. I'm not going to go too deep into all this. Watch my other videos, subscribe to my channel. We talk about it all the time. But realistically, you know, getting on steroids means you pretty much are always going to be on some form of a hormone replacement or hormone therapy, okay? And one of the #1 things you don't want to mess with in your body for every reason, physical as well as mental, is your hormones. When these go out of whack, so does everything else. And it's not uncommon to see, you know, people that went on steroids end up with severe depression, you know, all these different health issues that come physically too, from, you know, enlarging your heart, enlarging other organs, giving you a lot higher likelihood of just dying for no reason. We've seen it a lot over the years. We've seen it a lot in the sport of bodybuilding. It's something that unfortunately happens to many people, even in the amateurs. Even if you're a first timer right now watching this, you haven't even compete yet, this can happen to you. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to make sure you understand the effects of these things, and also understand this. Like I told you, you do not need steroids to compete in wellness. You do not need to take any performance enhancing drugs. And if you got a coach or you got somebody pushing this on you, telling you it's the only way, I'll tell you, you got a bad coach. You got a lazy coach. You got a shit pay coach that isn't there to try to help you, you know, actually succeed on stage and for the rest of your life, right? Because realistically, when we're talking about competing, we're talking about this window of 12 weeks or this time that you're going to be doing it for maybe whatever years of your life. Even if you do it your whole life, great. You should still be able to have a life outside of competing too, right? If you ever decide to quit competing, you don't want to compete anymore, you don't want to be dealing with the negative effects of steroid use and abuse, you know, for the rest of your life. It's just terrible. You don't want to shorten your life for the sport of bodybuilding. You know, it's kind of crazy to think when all this started and all this came to fruition years and years back, it was all about health, all about wellness, wellness, all about being as healthy as possible, building as much muscle, you know, getting a healthy body fat, optimizing your health overall, your wellness. And now literally wellness is become a different thing, taking steroids and whatever, you know. And obviously with the wellness division, women always think you have to have steroids to get that muscular development. But again, every single weekend we're putting successful competitors on stage with no problem. They're winning shows, they're doing great, and they're natural. And you know what, if you don't want to believe me, go check it out on my site, check it out on my Instagram, and also check out other resources, because I know many of the top level judges. I know many of the big judges in this industry, you know, such as Sandy Williamson, Becky Clawson, you know, these big women's division judges that are judging at the Olympia, and they will say openly, you know, bikini athletes, wellness athletes, they do not need to take steroids because of the level of things they require in the division. Now, you might look at a wellness competitor and see, okay, this looks crazy, this looks hard, you know, obviously that's all, they're all on steroids, they have to be. But the truth is, realistically, you got to know what they're looking for in these divisions to understand how it relates on stage. And if the top judges are telling you don't have to take steroids, you know, to do this, there's a reason that they say that, and it's because you don't. For example, here's some reasons you don't need to, just from a physique standpoint. Okay, while wellness is muscular and they have, you know, this overdeveloped lower body to the degree where the glutes are very developed, the quads are very developed, the hamstrings are very developed, it's not to a degree that you can't attain that naturally. Okay, I find that when I'm training a lot of successful wellness athletes, they have a history of lifting weights prior to working with me. Maybe they were a track athlete in a high school or college or something like that, where they were lifting weights and doing, you know, sprints and doing all these exercises that really develop their lower body. They're oftentimes the ones that are doing really well on stage, you know, with minimal extra effort, because they already had that foundation. So, you know, it proves the point that just having a foundation of building the muscle and doing everything else can get you there without steroids. You don't need that. And the other thing is too, you know, the conditioning factor. The conditioning factor in wellness is not that crazy. It's actually the softest level conditioning out of the women's divisions. Okay, bikini and wellness are right on par with the same conditioning. Those two divisions are, you know, at that softer level, meaning they judges, they want to see some lines, they want to see, you know, some muscle here and there, but they're not looking to see striation. They're not looking to see separation. You want to see what a lean competitor looks like? Go Google or look up what, we'll put it in the video, a women's physique competitor looks like, right? You can see every striation, every split, every muscle. That's not what we need in wellness. That's not what you need. You actually need a softer level of conditioning in wellness, or they will score you down. And let me tell you this, that level of conditioning, you don't need steroids to achieve. You can actually achieve that conditioning in wellness without steroids. So, you know, for all of the examples, all of the reasons to avoid, all the negatives that you don't want to have, the fact that you don't actually need it if you just had a good coach, you had the right things, and the fact the division does not require it, literally you can go compete in wellness and be very successful naturally. And why would you even consider it then? And I'll tell you why you might be considering it. One of two reasons, right? It's going to be that you have a coach pushing it down your neck, right? You went and hired somebody that you saw someone on Instagram and you thought they looked good, and now you got this coach that's spitting you the same generic program that they spit out to 1,000 other athletes that say they want to do wellness. They give you the same training, same nutrition, same all this, same all that, and the same steroid protocol, and they say, go take this. Coaches do that because they're lazy. They don't want to put the work in to actually learn the athlete or do the right thing. They don't really want to answer your questions. They don't really want to do anything besides actually swipe your card, take your money, and say, oh, you went on stage. And what it does for the coach, right, is because no coach wants to be unsuccessful when they put athletes up. I mean, obviously, if a coach is constantly putting up athletes on a wellness stage and they're constantly getting dead last place, I mean, that's not going to be great for their business. So the steroids become the blanket that they can give their athletes to make sure they at least look presentable, and maybe they do okay on stage. Maybe they win. Hey, that's fine. I didn't say you couldn't win if you took steroids. I'm just saying you don't need to if you want to still win a wellness show. And so that's one reason, right? You could have a coach doing that. You could have people in your gym doing that. You could have other competitors, you know, doing that to you. And the truth is, it's not the right thing. It's almost like peer pressure to take drugs, you know, any other kind of drugs. Let's not forget what steroids are. They are drugs, people. They are illegal. You shouldn't be taking them. And, you know, or number two is that you have, you know, just basically in your mind the idea that that is the only way to do it. That is the shortcut you need. You don't want to do the work. You don't want to go to the gym and lift the weights. You don't want to eat all the meals right. You don't want to take the time. You just want the shortcut. And if you want the shortcut, you shouldn't be competing in wellness or bodybuilding, period. Go sit in the gym and, you know, take steroids there and just go to the gym for looks or whatever the hell else, because competing is going to require of you all the time to be fully focused on that goal and dedicate your life to it. If you want to do well, you want to go further, you want to get a pro card, you want to go beyond, okay? And so hopefully this video today, I gave you some insight into this. You know, do you need steroids to compete in wellness? Abso-fucking-lutely not. You don't. And I hope that by the end of this, if you were thinking about doing it and this was your last ditch effort, you saw this video, I hope you changed your mind. I hope you're looking to other ideas and, you know, thinking on ways that you could do this, which you can, without doing any of that, okay? So find a way to invest your time and your money and your effort into actually training in the gym, getting a good coach, following a good program, and doing this the right way, doing this naturally, so you don't have to deal with any of these effects. You can still be a winner and you can still go to stage. And that's why I do these videos, you guys. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we got a lot more cool stuff coming. We always do, and there's a lot of old videos too. So if you haven't checked back on some of the other wellness content, make sure to scroll back and check it out. Thanks for watching. Coach Rye is out.